right, so I'm Taylor Andrews. My client that I'm working with is a male Division I wrestler at 197 pounds. He has had prior training in high school, and then I decided to do a 3-week, 3-a-day lifting program with him because in the off season, wrestlers usually wrestle throughout the whole year. And then the warm up and cool down would be the same for each training session. And for the GPP program, every exercise, the recipe will be between 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then I chose to do lower percentages for this program for the first 4 weeks because it's used to get the athlete used to the movements in the program. And then you can see here at my warm up and my cool down. The warm up is more of a dynamic warm up. And I did these because it's pretty much a whole body warm up. And then the cool down is more of a static stretching type deal. For the GPP program, I did pretty much did 3 days, and then for the 3 days, it would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, mainly, and then it would be done in the morning before the athlete has class. That way he'd be able to practice in the afternoons. See here, the first day workout, I pretty much had the same workout for each of the 4 weeks. This one, day 1 would be done on Monday, day 2 would be done on Wednesday, and day 3 would be on Friday. And pretty much it's just a basic workout, I think, is just to get the athlete prepared for the workouts that we did. So as you can see, for the main lifts, 60% first week, 65, 70%, 75%. Week 4. And then for lifts that don't usually have a max out or tested on, like dumbbell shoulder press, face pulls, lateral raises, I just kept an RPE of 6. So that's the GPP program for the weightlifting portion. For the strength component, for preseason, in-season, postseason, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It'll be done in the morning before the athlete has school. They will perform their plyos before the lift and then complete their conditioning after they finish lifting weights. That way they have plyos kind of work as a warm-up, and then they're able to have more energy to do more weights, and then conditioning kind of at the end to get them tired. And then the percentages in the postseason are low because I retested the athlete, so it's more of an accurate 75%. And then rest periods are 2 to 3 minutes, and then 4 to 5 minutes for the main lifts and Olympic lifts. During the in-season portion, I took a day out because I didn't want the athletes to be too fatigued, and it's more for them just to maintain the strength they gained in the preseason. And then in the postseason, I reduced the volume with the fatigue from the previous season. And then I'd use the same warm up and cool down because it's pretty much a total body warm up and cool down. Preseason, we start at about that 75% that we ended the GPP program. I did this to keep progressing the athlete. And then throughout the week or the 4 weeks, we just progress up to that 85%. And then for like the Olympic lifts, I did hang cleans, snatch grip, high pulls, then normal high pulls, mainly because the Olympic lifts are very difficult to do, and it's kind of preparing them. So when they he's a freshman now, so when he's in that sophomore, junior, senior season, he'll be ready to be able to perform correctly the Olympic lifts. So that was preseason. Like I said, working them up to that 85% in season. Dropped it back down to 75% just so they don't get too fatigued with practicing. Usually wrestlers practice twice a day at their normal sport. So just to help maintain that strength they built and keep it that way. In the postseason, so this is where I was saying I retested the athlete. So so he's gained a lot of muscles throughout the first year. So this retested him so that 70% is more of a 70% for him. Which, let's see here. So yeah, so like that first week, just kind of starting out with the low volume, kind of work them back because of the fatigue from the regular season, and then work them back up to that 75%. And then I feel like we wouldn't really need another GPP program just because they have been doing this for a year now. So the preseason, we can work up to that 85% again. And just here, like I said, keep it like the snatch grip high pulls instead of an actual snatch, normal high pulls, just help prepare them to get used to doing the Olympic lifts. Then the speed and agility component is done on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning. So it's a separate session for the athlete at school. The ladder drills are done continuously with no rest between each movement. And then there's no rest for the hand-eye ball drops because it's not very fatiguing. And for the rest of the movements, the rest time is between a minute to a minute 30. And then the size of the hurdle hops are 12 inches. So the GPP program for the speed and agility component, hand-eye ball drops just to work on their hand-eye coordination because wrestlers do a lot of hand fighting. Ladder drills, mainly to help them because they're going to have to, they get their feet caught up in different areas and to just have them quicker in there. And then, so for that, the ladder drills that are done are 1 foot shuffle, 2 foot shuffle, straddle hop, and forward hop, and then the Icky shuffle. So for like that 1 by 1, they just run through that, jog back to the start, and move in. So they do 1 foot shuffle, run back to the start, do 2 foot shuffle. And then 3 cone shuttle runs, more to get them quicker at changing directions. And then the sprints is just to work on speed, which will come into when they're shooting. Preseason, kind of add a lot more volume to it, just get them ready. Just kind of, because wrestlers will be on the ground and then have to get up to their feet. That's why we kind of added the hurdle walk to hurdle hops. And I progressed them with reps instead of progressing them with hurdle height, just because keep it simple and just easier to set up than trying to set up taller hurdles. In season, we kind of took out some of the running and sprints because those are usually done at the end of practice in a wrestling program. And just the ladder drills just kind of help maintain the quickness. And then I kept the reps the same because it built the athlete up. I don't want them to detrain at all, and it's not all that fatiguing to do this. But I didn't add more because I didn't want to add more volume to exhaust the athlete. Postseason, kind of just, like I said, they're wore out from the season, so kind of just low volume at the start and then kind of working it like a GPP program to get them ready for the preseason. For the medicine ball, that's typo. A 20-pound medicine ball we use for the slams, but for the overhead toss, a 10-pound medicine ball we use because it's just basic things that are in weight rooms. 24-inch box is usually custom in most weight rooms. And then rest between each of these, 1 to 2 minutes. And I didn't really vary the exercises in this program just because with school and worrying about their sport, it's best just to keep simple. And that way they don't have to be worried about what this exercise is once they learned it. And then, like I said, plyos will be done before the strength components, and then the conditioning will be done afterwards. So like if you see in the GPP program, the box jumps, knee jump to hurdle hop, overhead med ball slam and overhead med ball toss will be done before the athlete lifts. And then when the lift is over, then they will do the Airdyne bike intervals. And then the longer conditioning after that just help them keep their weight because wrestlers have to make weight. So just doing that afterwards help them keep their weight low. And then I did an Airdyne bike because it's pretty close to kind of, you see a lot of MMA and wrestlers use it, and it kind of helps them with both arm and leg movements, conditioning wise. And then like in the end season here, I took out the hit and conditioning components because the wrestlers getting enough conditioning in wrestling. And that's it.